Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, retired librarian turned homeschool mom, and in this video we're going to look at another PBS documentary. So this is Super Hummingbirds. So this is about a 60-minute long documentary. Unfortunately, I was not able to watch the entire thing because, again, I got a 3-year-old and I have limited time, and this is being filmed at the end of December of 2022, so the holidays. And this needs to go back to the library at some point. Because, yes, library. So this is a very, very interesting video. I live in Arizona, so hummingbirds are very, very beautiful. And strangely enough, they are only found in the Americas. So that's North, South, Central America. So that's the only place you find these very unique, very small birds. And yes, there is a variety of different species, subspecies of hummingbirds of all different sizes. When I was able to watch, they were doing some new things about how they can literally only survive like 20 minutes without getting nectar, and the way they sleep is like go into almost a hibernation thing at night in order to reserve energy, because they literally need to fly from flower to flower to get food constantly, and the flowers only give up so much, because they rely on these hummingbirds for pollination. So they've adapted to, basically, these hummingbirds are their chief pollinator. Their intent is to get these birds to go from one of their species to another of their species to spread pollen to reproduce. So it is very interesting. They do a lot of close-up work on how are these animals sucking nectar out of the flowers, what they're doing in order to survive at night, because they do actually have to sleep. They do have a video of them, and one of the only videos of hummingbirds actually mating, and various things of them fighting off other hummingbirds, and then how they survive up in, say, the Andes Mountains, which, you know, Peru, it's really high altitude, and yet these birds are still living up here. So it is a very interesting documentary. I highly recommend it if you're looking at biology, if you're looking at the wildlife of the Americas, if you're looking specifically at hummingbirds, if your children happen to be bird nuts. I happen to like birds. We feed birds. But again, I also have cats who like to watch birds. And they like birds, just not the way I do. And there's a reason we have indoor cats, so they aren't attacking the birds. So we like our wildlife wild, and our not so wildlife wild. Not wild. And no, I don't have a cat in here with me. Kendra was stuck in the closet. I just released her. I think she had things to do, like eating and drinking and other things, and being harassed by her younger panthers. And no, not real panthers, 2 black cats. So, but this is a really good documentary. I definitely recommend it. I may add it to our physical collection at a later date. You can find it on PBS, which is highly reliable, very, very educational. It's one of PBS, be it the videos like this, or things like Crash Course, or PBS various story channels that I find on YouTube are some of my mainstays that I recommend when it comes to home education and watching videos, because they are very, very reliable, as opposed to various cable channels like, say, the History Channel, which has gone off the edge. And any other channel like Animal Planet, which is now not about animals, it's about who knows what. So PBS is great for that. So this is it's an hour-long video. Any age recommendation. There's nothing in here that's absurd, that's dangerous. It's just, again, it's an hour-long documentary on hummingbirds. So unless your young kid is really, really obsessed with hummingbirds, which they could be, they may not have the attention span. My 3-year-old certainly will not have the attention span for this, but my 3-year-old barely has an attention span for an entire episode of Peppa Pig. She prefers the books. So, which, again, those things are very, very short. She can watch some episodes, but she has other things to do, because she's a toddler and a preschooler, so she's in that range where she's just not screen obsessed. It's not in her personality. But again, fantastic videos. I love hummingbirds. They're gorgeous. They're some of the most colorful birds in the animal kingdom. So this is a great documentary for people who love birds. So that's the end of this review, really. There's not much else to say. It's an hour-long video on the science of hummingbirds being hummingbirds. Apparently, this is the second one that's done by PBS, by the same creator who's, again, he does hummingbirds. I think it's actually cool. He lives in the U.S., but he's a native of Colombia. So he goes back to Colombia to videotape hummingbirds. So, but yeah, they do a lot of high-speed camera work in this and looking at the hummingbirds and looking at how they suck nectar and what they do. So, if you're also interested in more, not necessarily in fictional birds, I am doing the series of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole this year. So that's owls. It's made me fall in love with owls. That's 15 books. So it takes a while for me to get through. I believe it's going on right now, or it's coming up very, very soon. And it lasts a while. Because again, it's a 15-book series, plus there's like 2 extras. I think it goes, yeah, because there's a short stories, and then there's the guide to Ga'Hoole. So yeah, it takes me several months to get through the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. If you're interested in some of the other series I'm covering this year, I did cover the entire Princess Diaries series, which again is decently long. That's about 13 books, I think. Or maybe it's 10. And then she has the Notebooks of a Middle School Princess, which are the sub-series. And then I cover 2 Tamora Pierce quartets, and then the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. Once I'm done with the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, all of what I'm talking about has been already filmed and posted. And so they're scheduled to be posted. They're uploaded and everything. I am going to be working on another Meg Cabot preteen series, and then I'm going back to Catherine Lasky near the end of the year. And then I'm thinking about, this is not set in stone, going into Animorphs coming in 2024. Hard to think that far ahead, but that is the current plan, along with I'm covering LGBTQ this year. I'm doing some Jewish history books. I'm doing unicorns as well, and I can't remember what else I'm covering. There's a lot of stuff. So that's going along, of course, with hummingbirds, which is a spring thing. I always have a tendency to do Irish stuff in March. So that's up there. So be sure to check out the rest of the channel. I do a lot of books, do a lot of films. I do some documentaries. I do some YouTube stuff that fits in with things, particularly for the LGBTQ. So there's going to be a lot of short films in that. With that, just because, I mean, feature-length films with LGBT that are child appropriate. We're not going to Brokeback Mountain there. That's a little too advanced for my target audience. Though I have done some older stuff. I am actually going to cover later in the year some old classic musicals. So those are coming up, as well as some old classic mysteries. So those are in the works as well. So again, like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one, and thank you.